What's up, everyone? What's going on? What's going on? It is a beautiful day. It is time to read. This is Vinnie Rodriguez, 8-Figure Vision, here to share with you the next in our vast book series, Hatching Twitter. This book is a tremendous story about, it says it all, man. It says it right there in the title. True story of money, power, friendship, and betrayal by Nick Bolton. Hatching Twitter. You guys ever wondered the story behind a $1 billion business, a $1 billion tech startup business, and all the trials and tribulations that it went through, all of the angst and... Guys, I'm gonna get straight into it. This review will be very short. I got to learn this book very much in depth, and I'm gonna share with you just the overall theme of what I learned from this book. So, what's cool about this book is it really goes through pretty much everything that happened in here. But this book kind of started as, a lot of people know about a family business. Well, this was like a friend business. This was a group of friends got together, all really smart, according to Ev, who was one of the founders, according to Evan, super geniuses, right? Noah and Jack and Biz and Evan, they were all of the founders who got together and they worked in a company. They didn't like the company that they were in necessarily. They came from different backgrounds, and they got together and they started one company. The company wasn't working out too well for them, and because they were friends, this is what I thought was interesting. Because they were friends, they had a tendency of being brutally honest with each other, right? So there was this culture of friendship that they carried with them wherever they went throughout their entire journey, right? So they were in Odale. That was the company that they had for a while. And in Odale, they had a lot of problems because they weren't being really consistent. The product wasn't really there. It wasn't a strong enough product to sustain themselves over the long term. So that obviously affected their friendship. Egos got in the way. These guys, they would drink together and they would kind of mastermind while they would drink, right? And in a sense, that fostered a stronger friendship, but at the same time, right, their personalities got in the way, right? Evan was always like this cool, calm, collected, didn't really say much, but he said what he needed to say. Noah was more of the erratic, had to, a more assertive type, aggressive type. Noah was actually the one. Actually, I'm not gonna give away the secret. I'll let you guys figure out who was the one that actually came up with the name, how the name was created, right? Who came up with the actual concept, and even who gave it the thrust, who were the actual presidents of the company. It actually shifted over time, right? The company had evolved. So, I can report all this to you guys, but I think you'll find it very interesting in the book, how it all came about. What I thought was also really interesting was Twitter, like any other company, it has its up and downs, guys. It has its turmoil, but it also has this tremendous success. Like when Twitter first reached its first million, right? And then the time that it reached 20 million, it got sponsorship from angel investors as well, right? But then it had turmoil. The time where Jack became CEO and he didn't know what to do, right? Ev was also CEO for a while, right? But you can imagine what ends up happening is, and this is obviously probably in newspapers and articles everywhere, but Jack, he couldn't handle the job of being CEO. He didn't know what he was in for. he got a little overwhelmed being the CEO, so he worked out a deal with Evan. But guess what? As soon as Jack stepped out of the top seat, fuck, he freaking stabbed Evan and everyone in the company in the back. It's freaking crazy. Like, as soon as he picked up the phone, called Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, right, president and CEO of Facebook, right? This guy's just like nailing it and sending out emails at all times, Twitter offering them, right, to buy their company, painted these amazing pictures, vivid pictures of like, oh, just imagine Twitter and Facebook changing the world, all of these amazing things we can do, like just trying to be so strategic, buying out Twitter. Yahoo offered a bid. It was crazy. Like, Twitter was growing in so much popularity. It obviously clearly had a social impact, but it had a political impact as well, right? When Evan went out to Iraq to speak of the use of Twitter, right? It became a political thing. Twitter was a very effective tool, right? Because the transition from blogging, which Evan had started, into a more short form of communication, more instantaneous communication. So Twitter shaped the evolution of communication, right? And I think one thing that you and I would probably ask, right, today as part of Infinite Insights, you know, what's the takeaway from here? What do we get from this? Well, you know, creativity really comes from when you believe in something. I think that these four founders, they really truly believe that there was something special about Twitter, and they were willing to go all out. They were willing to put all of their attention into the thriving and the surviving of Twitter through its turmoil. They had a lot at stake, and it wasn't only financially, it was their history. And you know, I think that's why the creativity had spurred. It changed hands of leadership so many times because it kept reinventing, it kept redesigning, reshaping, right? They gave it their own touch, their own sense of swag and taste to it. So I think that's the major takeaway from this today, guys. But $1 billion company, right? It's 2017 right now. This started in the early 2000s. Twitter's still kind of facing these interesting ups and downs, but it's $1 billion company. I mean, that's something to respect. So just remember that, guys, that, you know, as a business, for those of you that do own a business, or those of you that are in tech is constantly adapting and changing and evolving. So you gotta constantly be on the envelope, right? You gotta constantly be on the height of innovation. And how do you do that? Innovation isn't always, hey, we're gonna create a new code that's gonna enhance Twitter. No, it's also innovation in relationships that you have, right? Like when they met Oprah and they aired her first Twitter, right? Ashton Kutcher reaching 1 million views. So these are the things these are the ways that they marketed it. That's innovation. That's what got Twitter from hatching into becoming this beautiful bird that eventually transformed the way that people communicate today. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. My name is Vinnie Rodriguez, 8-Figure Vision, sending you today my review of the book Hatching Twitter by Nick Bolton. Very great author. The way that he writes is very much so clever, witty, and I'll give the book a 5 out of 8, I'd say. So talk to you guys on the next